Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another broadcast. Today I wanted to talk about the amazing Spider-Man writer Dan Slott's recent interview with The Hollywood Reporter, where he said his favorite Spider-Man villain is Peter Parker. He made the comment while promoting this fall's Spider-Man event, Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy. I wanted to make this video to show that he fundamentally misunderstands the character and that words matter. If a single guy hits on a woman and doesn't have much luck, or he goes on a few dates and says something dumb that dissolves the relationship before it ever really starts, you wouldn't call him a, quote, sexual predator. You might say he's socially awkward, but that's different from a sexual predator. Likewise, Peter Parker, a hero, is a fallible man, but being a fallible individual does not make one a villain. They are two distinctly different things. A writer is engaging in Orwellian doublethink when he calls a hero like Peter Parker a villain like Dr. Octopus or Dr. Doom or Venom or Carnage. Here's what Dan Slott said. He's, meaning Peter, is the guy you know. He's not a wealthy billionaire playboy. He's not an alien from another planet. He's not a god from a pantheon. He's the guy down the block who trips and falls, who screws up in every way that you screw up. All the self-destructive traits you have and your friends have, he has. People say to me, who's your favorite Spider-Man villain? And my answer is Peter Parker, because no one can mess up Spider-Man's life like Peter Parker can. So what we have here is a writer who conflates complications that come from doing the right thing with a villainous attempt to, quote, mess up a man's life. Normally, people do not equate the two things, and they do not flippantly act as if the two words or the two situations are interchangeable. So here's the thing. Writers know that words matter. Writers know that words are powerful. There is a, quote, great power that comes from words, and with that comes a, yes, great responsibility. The person who pens The Amazing Spider-Man of all books should know that, but Dan Slott does not. That is why his Peter Parker, for close to a decade now, behaves in weird ways. The writer is starting off from a psychological place that perverts who and what Peter Parker actually represents. So if you doubt me, look up the time he said Peter Parker's love for Mary Jane is, quote, anti-Marvel. Again, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of the character, which has the practical effect of making him into a funhouse mirror version of what Stan Lee and Steve Ditko envisioned so many years ago. And do you want to know Dan Slott's reaction to this online? He's unblocking fans he previously blocked on Twitter and telling them that Stan Lee would have called Peter Parker a, quote, villain in the 1960s. Ask yourself, seriously, ask yourself, is that true? Of course not. Would Stan Lee gregariously joke about how Peter Parker catches colds, breaks his arm, forgets to do his laundry, and misses appointments? Sure, of course. Would he agree that being a hero for humanity disrupts a man or a woman's personal life? Sure, yes, he would do that. But would he call Peter Parker a villain? No. That is naked moral relativism, and Peter Parker was never meant to be a hero whose brain is steeped in moral relativism. You can't really have the two. You can't be a hero if right and wrong doesn't exist, if one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. They're incompatible ideas, and that's where Dan Slott gets everything, again, fundamentally screwed up. Anyway, if you want to read more about these particular issues, then check out douglassternsblog.com or share your thoughts in the comments section below here. Is it appropriate to call Peter Parker a, quote, villain? And should the writer who calls him one be the lead scribe on a Spider-Man book? I'd like to hear your thoughts below. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.